video, I'm going to share with you my winter arc nighttime routine. This is the routine that I use to help me be the most productive and maintain my 40-pound weight loss transformation. And I honestly think that the nighttime routine is even more important than the morning productive daytime routine, because sleep in the night set you up to be able to meet your goals and crush your goals the next day. If you're up all night scrolling on your phone and you're staying up super late, you're not as likely to be able to reach your goals in the same way. And so the nighttime routine is absolutely crucial for crushing your goals the next day and being the most productive version of yourself. So if you are ready, let's jump in. What's up, mamas? Alexandria here, 35-year-old toddler mom, but I'm also a licensed therapist for over 10 years, as well as a self-professed gym rat. And after losing 40 pounds and having a complete and total fitness transformation after the age of 30, which some will tell you is impossible, I do not agree with that. I don't think that's true. I want to share my nighttime routine with you, and I do want to let you guys know on the front end of this video, a portion of this video is sponsored by Bob and Brad, so thank you to them for supporting this channel, and thank you to all of you for giving me opportunities like this to support the channel, and we're going to get to that portion a little later in the video. My evening actually we start wind down for bed at around like 6:30, so dinner ends between 6 and 6:30 for us typically, and we all try to eat as a family. And so I'm saying that to let you know, we're going to circle back to the food thing here in just a little bit, but I say that to say that I do try after dinner to be done eating for the day, and for us that's around 6:30. So after I eat dinner and we get my son to bed, which none of that's relevant, so I'm just going to circle past that, but I come back down to the kitchen after he's in bed and I make myself a cup of spearmint tea. This is the tea that I drink. I do get it on Amazon, and I've been using it for, gosh, I've switched brands a couple of different times because they stopped making the one I originally used to use, but I started doing this about, I don't know, like 3-ish years ago, really, because I was having like acne issues, and so my dermatologist had suggested that I start drinking spearmint tea, and so then tea became sort of part of our evening routine. My husband also drinks tea. He drinks a different one. He drinks the Harney and Sun one. I drink the spearmint one, and it's just sort of part of our evening routine. But I do really like the taste of the spearmint. It has a little bit of sweetness because I use some Splenda, and so it sort of helps me curb the cravings from like sugar and like sweetness that I might want in the evening. But it also is good for digestion, and I just feel like it's a good like wind down, help me just like be done for the day. You know what I mean? Like it sort of sets the tone for the wind down process. And so I sip on that kind of while I'm getting ready for bed and all those sort of things, and while I'm doing later parts of my routine. So I also take my creatine when I'm downstairs in the kitchen. I keep that just by our cat's medication because I do that in the evening. And so I take my creatine at night. That's something I just started doing pretty recently, so like within the last like couple of weeks. So I take my creatine downstairs, and then I do my very best to shut down the kitchen completely. I turn the lights off and I leave. If I really am hungry and I feel like I desperately need a snack, I will go get a snack. Like I will try to get something like some cucumber and lemon pepper. I know that sounds weird to some of y'all, but I promise it's really good. You should try it if you've never tried it. Or I'll eat some of those like strawberry chips. I talk about those an obscene amount here. I'm really sorry. I just really like them. So if you like strawberry chips, I highly recommend those. Anyway, I talk about those a weird amount on this YouTube channel. But anyway, I try to prioritize those like healthier snacks because I find that my decision fatigue definitely kicks in the evening, and so if I don't leave the kitchen or don't pick healthier snacks, I'm much more likely to like overindulge on the things like I don't like to call them bad for you foods because they're not like bad for you, because everything in moderation. But I just find that I do better with those like more indulgent or like higher calorie foods earlier in the day than I do when I'm in like decision fatigue mode. So I try to prioritize those kind of snacks. I take my tea and my water bottle, my gigantic jug. Yes, I caved. I bought a Stanley. I don't want to talk about it. I know. I make fun of them all the time. It's still hilarious, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I take my tea and my water, and I take myself up and get as far away from the kitchen as possible and just kind of shut everything down downstairs. And listen, guys, if you're finding this video useful or helpful in some way, I would really appreciate if you would give this video a thumbs up, and I would love to be your non-judgy mom friend who comes alongside you to help you reach your goals. When I get up to my room, that's typically when I do any sort of like skincare routine that I have going. I've been using the same skincare routine for quite a few years at this point, but it's not really relevant to the wind down process. Just know I wash my face, I use my like stuff, all the things, and I get ready for bed all while sipping my tea. But the other thing I do that's relevant for bedtime specifically is my sleep gummies. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not your primary physician, so take this with a grain of salt. If you think you should take these, it's totally at your discretion. I am not a doctor, so I cannot tell you should or shouldn't take some sort of supplement. But I read some wonky stuff about melatonin, and I was just waking up super groggy when I was taking it. So I stopped taking melatonin completely. Again, do your own research. And I started taking these non-melatonin sleep gummies, and I really like them. They have really helped me like wind down for sleep and be able to fall asleep faster than if I don't take anything. So I've really enjoyed them. I like them. Again, I'll link them for you. But proceed at your own, sort of discretion, because, again, I'm not your doctor. I don't know what medicines you're taking, any of those sort of things. After I finish my skincare, that's typically the part of the evening where I will change into my pajamas, and I've been loving using a massage gun. And that's where the part of this video that's sponsored is coming in today, because the massage gun I've been using is the Bob & Brad Q2 Pro Mini Massage Gun. And especially on the days that I feel like I've had like a really tough workout, that is when I will prioritize using the massage gun. But I find that, just generally speaking, I really enjoy using it. When Bob & Brad reached out a few months ago and asked me if I wanted to try their Q2 Pro Mini, I just switched it out with the other one I was using. I was using a larger massage gun. And honestly, I have been super duper impressed. I do find that the massage gun is really helpful for like muscle recovery after those big workouts, which of course is really important to me because I'm somebody who likes to work out regularly and I move my body a lot. So if I've had a really tough workout, that's when I'm going to want to use it the most, like for after my strength training. But you can also use it for general relief for like muscle relaxation and massage, which is also why I prioritize it at bedtime, because it really just sort of winds my body down, you know what I mean? And so I will use that. I really like the mini. I have small hands, so I really like the mini because it fits well into my hands, and I feel like it just kind of gives me a little bit better control of the massage gun than the one that I was using before. I also like it's compact, so I can take it with me traveling and not feel like it's taking up a bunch of room in my suitcase. This one comes with 5 different attachments, and it has multiple vibration settings. And I'm going to show those to you on the screen, of course. But this one is for the spine, neck, and shoulders. This attachment is for joints, deep tissue, and trigger points. And this one is for the larger muscle groups. And this one is for the head and sensitive bony areas. But honestly, my favorite attachment is the all over body heat cool attachment. I absolutely love this freaking feature, y'all. I love it so much. So there are 2 heat settings and 2 cool settings. So you can make it hotter, cold, or colder. And I like to do one followed by the other. The good news is that Bob & Brad is running a sale right now for Black Friday, and the Q2 Pro will be available for 20% off. And then you can also use the code BobBrad16 and get an additional 10% off. I believe that code is like associated with me. And that's gonna make it $59.99. So basically a $60 massage gun. And honestly, I have really been enjoying this massage gun, and I really hope you love it as much as I do. I would love to know if you've tried this one, which attachments are your favorite, what you love. Again, I love the heat cool setting. It's honestly been a game changer for me, and I'm so thankful to have it. So thank you again for Bob & Brad for sponsoring this portion of the video, and let's move on with our routine. So after I finish my massage, then I get in my bed and I read my book. I tend to read for between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on how tired I am, depending on, sort of where my headspace is, and just also depending on like how interesting my book is. I'm currently reading an interesting book, but it's kind of weird, it's kind of spooky. I don't even know how to explain this to you. I'll pop a picture here. But I'm really enjoying this book, but it's a little crazy. So I read my book, and I will sip on my tea usually while I'm doing this, and then go brush my teeth and get back in the bed. But I really like having like a book on my Kindle rather than on my phone, because if I am reading from my phone, I am much more likely to end up on Instagram or like doom scrolling or checking comments from YouTube or something than I am to actually be reading and then winding down for sleep. And that just, it doesn't serve me well. I don't tend to fall asleep as well or as quickly if I've been on my computer or on my phone close to bedtime. So I really try to keep my phone intentionally away from me and just use my Kindle. As you can probably tell from my bed, I'm very particular about how I sleep. And I'm also particular with the temperature in the room. We like to sleep at about 68 degrees to keep it cooler. But I also am very particular about the sheets that we use. I use the Boll and Branch sheets and blanket just because it's a really nice, cool, temperature blanket and sheet set for us. We've had really good success with it. They are a little on the pricier side, but I do find that they're really good. They're really comfortable and help keep us cooler in the evening. I also sleep with a body pillow. That's honestly a carryover from when I used to use a pregnancy pillow with my son, but I really feel like I need it for the knee support, and I just sleep better because I'm a side sleeper. So I am pretty particular about that. As you also will see, I sleep with sleep headphones. They're just little headphones that you put on your ear, and an eye mask basically to cover your face and like sort of block out any extraneous light, because again, it's better for sleep quality. So I will put on my sleep headband after I finish reading my book. I'll pray and do all my prayers and things like that, and then I will put on my sleep headphones and turn off the light. When I go to sleep, I've been using the Calm app since 2020, because that was something that I started when my son was in our room during the pandemic, because I used to be one of those people that slept with the TV on. Oh, I don't know how I got any quality sleep, but I used to be one of those people who slept with the TV on, and I regret that, but it doesn't matter. My point is, because we couldn't sleep with the TV on with our son in the room, that's when I switched to using the sleep headphones to listen to Calm, and I really like the Calm sleep stories. I prefer the men sleep stories. I think it's a tone thing, because I need it to be like more baritone, and so I will listen in my sleep headphones to a Calm, usually a sleep story, to actually like fall asleep, and then it turns itself off, and then I just have my son's white noise in my ears. So typically that means I am in bed by around 10 p.m. I try to have lights out and be in bed and going to sleep by about 10 p.m. But I also see what my Whoop says, because my Whoop has like a sleep alarm that tells me if I want to get up by 6 a.m. I need to try to go to bed by X, Y, and Z time, and I do my very best to get 100%, or at least as close to 100% of sleep as I can. So that's really sort of when I'm setting my basis of when I should go to sleep. But I try to be in bed no later than 10 on most nights. But that's my evening routine. If you loved it, you might like my morning routine also. Again, I still think the nighttime routine is a little more effective or helpful than the morning routine, but I'll link that here as well because it's useful and interesting too. And again, thank you again to Bob and Brad for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Don't forget to use that coupon code, as well as take advantage of their Black Friday sale if the massage gun sounds as interesting to you as it was to me. And I will catch you in my next one. Thank you for taking your time to be here today. I know your time is valuable.